Dolls are meant to be sweet, cute, comforting, but sometimes they stare back. Tonight, you'll hear 3 true nightmares about dolls that whisper, follow, and even replace the living. Don't look behind you. Let's begin.
Story 1. My daughter is a doll. Let me start off by saying I'm not crazy, or at least I don't think I am. I suppose I'll leave it up to the reader. I couldn't tell you if I'm dealing with a ghost, a demon, or something else beyond my grasp. Any light you could shed on the subject would be great. My story starts out innocently enough. 2 months ago, I was in Walmart when I saw a life-size doll that looked just like my daughter, Abby. Again, Walmart. Not at an estate sale, not in an abandoned building, and not even some creepy one-off clearance item without a box or price tag. There were dozens of them. I'll even add the link to the doll at the end if I remember. Anyway, I texted my wife a picture of the doll and she admitted they look similar, so I bought it on a whim. When I first showed Abby the doll, I asked her who it looked like. "It's Baby Shrek," she squealed, clearly not on the same page as me. "Don't you think it looks just like you? It could be your twin sister," I asked, feeling foolish, hoping to convince her to side with me. Twin sister, she yells, grabbing the doll and dancing around the room. Mission accomplished. I take Abby out for ice cream and ask if she wants to bring her sister along. "Yes, Daddy. What's her sister's name?" I'm not very quick-witted, so I'm surprised when I instantly blurt out, "Tabitha." "Tabby," she says with delight. She's smart for a 3-year-old, but struggles with bigger words. Actually, Abby and Tabby would be perfect names for twins. Twin names always have that corny and awkward ring to them, like my twin friends Donnie and Danny. A couple days later, Abby and Tabby were inseparable. Abby has never had an imaginary friend, so I was surprised to see her get so attached to Tabitha. We live in a small town, and so far the only neighborhood kid even close to her age is 7, and he's a brat. So I'm happy to see her bonding with someone until she starts preschool. I start to play along and begin to share my daughter's enthusiasm for Tabby, talking and playing with her just like I would my actual daughter. My wife tells me she needs to take Abby to finish her immunizations. She knows I won't go because she's stronger than me. I can't bear to see my baby girl cry when they poke her with a needle. I load Abby in the car seat and kiss her forehead. "Sit here, sweetie, while I go get Tabby." "Tabby doesn't need her shots, Gaddy. She's a doll." Surprised at her change in perception about her sister, I asked, "Don't you want her to keep you company?" "No, Daddy. You take care of her while I go to the doctor." The car pulls away and I wave goodbye and blow kisses as I always do. As soon as they're around the corner, I sprint up to the attic. I have a mini fridge up there to keep my beer out of Abby's hands. I couldn't remember the last time I had a cold beer to myself, and with a couple hours to spare, I might as well take some me time. I crack one open and bring the rest of the 6-pack downstairs. I haven't seen adult TV shows in so long I've forgotten how to swear effectively. Always Sunny in Philadelphia is on, and I'm in the zone. I'm only a few minutes in when I feel the stare. There's Tabitha on the other end of the couch looking right at me. As a rational man, I try to shrug it off and laugh. I taunt her with, "Eat shit, you porcelain bitch." The show is rubbing off on me already, and I can't stop giggling. Time for a pee break. My bathroom is on the other side of the room, so I freeze when I emerge to Tabitha once again, looking directly into my eyes. Spooked, I move all around my living room trying to escape her icy, lifeless stare. This doll is like the fucking Mona Lisa, and I'm not about to let it ruin my daddy time. I man up and toss it into Abby's room. Although still weirded out, I enjoy a few more episodes of Always Sunny in Philadelphia and polish off the beers. It'll take a lot more than a creepy doll to keep me from enjoying these precious few moments alone. 2 days later, I had entirely forgotten the whole thing. Abby, Tabby, and I were back to our usual selves, playing Tea Party, writing postcards to Grandma, and living the American dream. We plan a picnic together and head out to the backyard to feast. Abby and Tabby nibble on their snacks while I lay back in the hammock. I hear whispering and look over to see what they're up to. The first thing I see are those fucking doll eyes. Her head is twisted around behind her and she's looking directly at me, while Abigail is sitting on the opposite side of her. "What did you do to Tabby's neck, sweetie?" I stammer. My daughter looks at me with that same cold stare. "She's looking at you because she doesn't like you, Daddy." It gets worse. It gets so much worse. 3 weeks go by and that doll always seems to be somewhere she shouldn't be. Every time I wake up, Tabitha's eyes are the first thing I see. No matter who is in the room, her eyes are always focused on me. I'm not about to admit to anyone what's going on, so after 2 sleepless nights, I'm relieved to have to go out of town on a work trip. I hit New Orleans and call my wife from my room's phone to let her know I made it there safely. I'm halfway through telling her goodnight as I'm sleepily opening my luggage for my pajamas. I scream when I see Tabby glaring at me. My wife is laughing as the people next door pound on the wall to get me quiet. I don't have a chance to compose myself when I hear my daughter in the background begging for the phone. "Daddy, did you find Tabby? I sent her with you so you guys could learn to be friends. I miss her so much. Please take good care of her." My instincts are to chuck the fucking thing right then and there, but I'm a grown-ass man and my daughter deserves better. I take the doll down to the parking lot and shove it into the trunk. I get back up to my room and can scarcely sleep. I finally pass at about 6 a.m. and wake up with a start 1 hour later. I open my eyes, expecting to see the doll in bed next to me, but I'm alone. After a miserable continental breakfast, I pop the trunk and there she is. I'm shocked that she stayed put, but after a month of torture and a few sleepless nights, I'm at my wit's end. I decide to just buy my daughter a new toy. Hell, I'll buy her a dozen new toys to get rid of this thing. There's a dumpster at the end of the lot, and I take great joy in marching over there to end this nightmare. I open the lid, and just as I'm about to drop her, I get that same feeling I got when I first saw the doll. This looks just like my daughter. I can't do this. I somehow finish my meetings in Louisiana and decide to just tough it out and drive back home tonight. I was a psychological wreck, and I needed my wife and my daughter. I put Tabby in the front seat and talked to her the whole drive home. I think I see her turn her head to me out of the corner of my eye, but I choose to ignore it this time. Somehow, I make it back in one piece. My daughter gives me a kiss and yanks Tabby out of my arms. "Tabby, I missed you so much." I was happy to see my daughter smile and dance around the room with Tabby. They really do look so much alike. As Abigail carries her twin sister down the hall into bed, the doll's head twists around and glares daggers right through me. I can't believe I fell for that, I think to myself. She conned her way out of the dumpster this morning, but this ends tomorrow. So here we are. Today is the day. I haven't slept a wink last night, and my wife is taking my daughter to her sister's house for brunch. My 2 little girls sit hand in hand on the couch. I scoop Abigail up and carry her to the driveway. My wife rushes past and sits in the front seat. "Sorry you're not feeling well. We'll see you in a few hours." I hurriedly buckle Abby into her car seat and tell her that Tabby and I will be here when she gets back. I shut the door before she can protest, and I excitedly wave goodbye and blow kisses. I sprint back to the house as soon as they turn the corner. I probably took a little too much pleasure in disposing of that evil fucking doll. Even though she never actually hurt me, I knew what she was capable of, and I had to strike first. The first thing I did was pop those ghastly little eyes out. No more ghoulish stares from you. I ripped all her hair out, shredded her clothes, and swung her into the coffee table by her feet. I couldn't believe how much better I felt. It only took 15 minutes to finish Tabby off. I put her in my neighbor's garbage can so my wife and daughter wouldn't stumble across her. I come around the corner, and I'm surprised to see my wife pulling into the driveway. She must have forgotten something. She angrily rolls down her window and yells, "What is wrong with you? Get this doll out of the car seat and go get Abigail." I look down to my blood-soaked hands and wish I had never bought that cursed doll.
Story 2. The Puppet. It was a marionette, I think. It had a big head. The face was made of wrinkly, flesh-colored rubber. The eyes were gigantic, bulging white orbs with red pupils. The hair was black, made of some hard substance that didn't mesh with the rubbery head. The teeth were gigantic, pure white and capable of moving up and down. The body and limbs were wooden, painted to resemble clothes, but the paint was faded. You could see the wood's natural brown in some places. Each arm and leg was a different length, but the hands and feet were pretty detailed. It made a loud clattering sound whenever it moved. That puppet
followed me. I don't mean it got up and chased me. I mean it kept showing up in my life. My earliest memory of it was from my first birthday. I obviously don't remember the full details of that day, but I remember my parents singing happy birthday and that puppet. I don't know what it was there for. I just remember it scared me to death and I couldn't stop crying. When I was able to talk, I asked my parents about it, and they said nothing like that had happened on my first birthday. They must not have thought lying about it would make things easier for me. The next time I saw it, I was around 3. I was exploring a room filled with old stuff my parents had stored away, and I found a calendar, but I don't remember the year. There was a photo for each month, but the only one I remember was October. That puppet was the image for it. I got scared and ran out of the room. I told my mom and tried to show her the calendar so that she'd know the puppet was real, but I couldn't find it. The room had been very messy, and I had ran out of it so quickly I knocked over piles of stuff. I guess the calendar got buried. I was 6 when it happened again. It was the middle of the night. I woke up from a nightmare I can't remember the details of. I was too scared to go back to sleep, so I went into the living room and turned on the TV. An old black and white show on Nick at Night was ending, and when the commercial started, that puppet came on. It was dancing while loud music played. I screamed and started crying uncontrollably, but by the time my parents got downstairs, the puppet was gone. I didn't see the puppet again for a while after that, but I kept having nightmares about it. When I was 15, I decided to try to track it down, using the internet to try to find information about the calendar, the short, anything. No one had ever heard of it. But one day I got an instant message from someone I had never talked to before. Their screen name was a random mashup of numbers and letters, but their avatar was a picture of the puppet. They IM'd me, glad that you still remember me, then immediately signed off. They never contacted me or came online again. When I was 20, I was walking by a store that sold old toys and dolls, and in the front window, I saw the puppet. I went inside and asked the clerk if he knew anything about that puppet's history, when it was made, where it was from, anything. He didn't. Said the puppet had just been sold to the store a few days ago. I could have it for $6. I wasn't sure what to do. It still scared me, but having proof that it really existed seemed like a good idea. I bought the puppet and took it home. For a while, I felt better. I viewed the puppet as a childhood fear I had overcome as an adult, and even started to believe the explanations my parents had given me for the past appearances of it. I saw it somewhere else as a baby, imagined the calendar, dreamed the short show, and someone online who had one played a trick on me. I kept the puppet, but as I moved on in my life, I pretty much forgot about it. I finished college, got married, and my wife should be giving birth in a few weeks. I was cleaning up a room for when the baby comes and found the puppet, dusty and abandoned. I didn't want my kid seeing it when he was little, so I picked it up and decided I might as well wipe the dust off before moving it to another place. When I dusted it, I noticed a faded inscription on the back. "This is what he'll look like." Before I could figure out what this meant, I heard my wife starting to cry. I rushed to her. She looked more upset than I had ever seen her. Sobbing, she told me that the doctor had just called. There was a problem with the baby.
Story 3. The Whispering Dolls. Mia was thrilled when her grandmother sent her a special gift for her 8th birthday, a beautifully hand-carved doll in a vintage dress, a collector's item her grandmother had always kept on the highest shelf. The doll had a porcelain face, delicate features, and glassy eyes that seemed to follow Mia around the room. "Isn't she beautiful?" her mother said, placing the doll carefully on Mia's shelf. Mia nodded, but she felt a little uneasy. There was something about the doll that made her uncomfortable, though she couldn't quite explain why. That night, as Mia lay in bed, she swore she heard something, faint whispers, like someone talking just outside her bedroom door. She sat up, holding her breath, straining to listen. "Mia," a voice hissed, barely audible. She froze. The whispers were coming from her shelf, from the doll. Mia scrambled out of bed and ran to her parents' room, her heart pounding. "Mom, I heard something. Someone's talking in my room." Her mother groggily comforted her. "It's just your imagination, honey. You've had a big day. Go back to sleep." Reluctantly, Mia returned to her room, but she couldn't shake the feeling that the doll's glassy eyes were watching her. She tossed and turned all night,
but eventually drifted off into an uneasy sleep. The next day, Mia decided to avoid the doll altogether. She wouldn't look at it, wouldn't go near the shelf, and certainly wouldn't touch it. But that night, as she lay in bed, the whispers returned. "Mia, come closer!" She pulled the blanket over her head, shaking. Her heart raced as the whispers grew louder, more persistent. She could hear her name over and over again, as if the doll was trying to speak directly to her. By the third night, the whispers were unmistakable. "Mia, I know your secrets." The voice was clearer now, and it was coming from the doll. In a mixture of fear and curiosity, Mia crept out of bed and tiptoed toward the shelf. She stood there, trembling, staring at the doll. "Mia, they don't believe you," the doll whispered. Its lips never moved, but Mia could hear the words as if they were being whispered right in her ear. Mia gasped and ran to her parents' room again. This time, she was in tears, begging them to take the doll away. "Please, it's whispering to me. It knows things." Her parents and father exchanged concerned glances, but they reassured her it was just a bad dream. To ease her worries, her mother agreed to take the doll and put it in the attic. "See, it's gone," she said. But Mia didn't feel any better. For a few nights, things seemed to return to normal. No whispers, no strange voices. Mia began to think maybe she had just imagined it. Maybe she was overreacting. But then, on the fifth night, the whispers came back, this time louder than ever. "Mia, you shouldn't have put me away!" Her eyes shot open. The doll was no longer in the attic. It was sitting at the foot of her bed. She screamed, bolting upright. Her parents rushed in, finding her trembling, pointing at the doll. "It's here! How did it get here?" Her parents were confused. Her father retrieved the doll and checked the attic. It was locked, just as they had left it. Mia's mother began to grow frustrated. "Mia, you're imagining things," she said, but Mia knew it was real. The doll had moved on its own. The next day, her parents left her with a babysitter, insisting she needed to relax and let her imagination settle down. But Mia couldn't stop thinking about the doll. As the evening grew darker, she started hearing whispers again, even though the doll wasn't in her room. "Mia! I'm closer than you think!" Terrified, she ran to the living room where her babysitter was watching TV. The babysitter smiled reassuringly. "It's okay, sweetie, you're just hearing things. Do you want to watch a movie with me?" Reluctantly, Mia sat down on the couch. But then, out of the corner of her eye, she saw it. The doll. It was sitting in the hallway, partially hidden in the shadows, just watching her. "Mia, she doesn't know." The babysitter didn't hear the whispers, but Mia did. She bolted from the couch, running to the doll and screaming at it, "Leave me alone!" But the doll remained motionless, as if mocking her. The babysitter tried to calm Mia down, but the fear in the little girl's eyes made her uneasy. She decided to call Mia's parents. When they returned home that night, they found Mia hiding under her bed, clutching a pillow, crying uncontrollably. Her parents, at a loss, decided to throw the doll away. They didn't believe in haunted dolls, but if getting rid of it would help Mia, then they would do it. Her father took the doll out to the trash that night, tossing it into the dumpster. Mia watched him from the window, hoping that would be the end of it. But it wasn't. That night, Mia awoke to the sound of whispers again. Her heart sank. "No," she whispered to herself, shaking her head. "No, it's gone." She looked at the foot of her bed. The doll was sitting there once more, its glassy eyes glinting in the moonlight. But now, it wasn't alone. There were other dolls, smaller, older ones, with cracked faces and tattered clothes, sitting around her room whispering in unison. "Mia, we're all here!" The chorus of whispers grew louder, filling the room, suffocating her with dread. Her heart pounded in her chest as the dolls seemed to edge closer, inch by inch, without moving. In a panic, she screamed for her parents, but this time no one came. She looked at the door. It was locked from the inside. The dolls' voices grew louder, overwhelming her. "Mia, you belong to us now!" As the dolls whispered, one of them slowly tilted its head and its cracked porcelain lips parted into a smile.
Thank you for watching. If you're still brave enough to stay. If these dolls unsettled you even a little, hit the like button and subscribe for more terrifying stories. Sleep well, if you can.